अच्छा लग रहा है तो थोड़ा दूर से देखियो, पूरा वाइड एंगल है ना। हंस जोग नाजी हाशमी नित्या, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता।
Oh.
Hello, very good evening, sir.
Good evening. Everything is okay with you?
Yes, it is all right, sir, today.
Very good. I am so happy to see that the students are already logging in.
Yes, sir.
But I do not have screen sharing.
Sir, I will give you the rights.
I do also recording.
Just give me a second, sir.
Yes. No problem. No rush.
Hello, Basant. This is Inga.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Do you want? Are you capable to also give me a co-hosting facilities? Then I can assist you. Then now you unmute yourself. It's
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, actually, I am not able to find co-host option. I tried earlier also, but there is only make host option for me. So I will do that whenever it will be. If you need me to do, I can make you the host of the meeting, ma'am.
But let her, if Hans needs to share some screen sharing, then we do that first. But like yesterday, we had problems with one that was hacking the system. So we need to cut out if there comes any kind of unintended participants.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, what I did today, I downloaded the session which Hans provided me, and it will be no problem for me because yesterday I could not switch on that option for sound. So that is why we were facing the problem for sound in yesterday's session.
I think it's your headphones maybe also.
Yes.
But anyway, yeah. Today we're going to be very exciting again.
Definitely, ma'am. Sure. The study students will definitely try to interact in a more productive way today, and let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens, and beautiful. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
I can tell you that now I have recording options, but not screen sharing options.
Yes, I am also giving that to you, sir.
It should come like automatically. Oh, now you made me the host. Oops. I shouldn't be host. I should at most be co-host.
Sir, actually, I am not able to find that option for co-host. I tried today also in the morning, but that is also fine. That is also fine. I am also having the video if you want me to play, and you can also play from your answer that at that point.
I want you to play if possible.
Yes, I will do that then.
I will keep my screen with its beautiful picture on.
Yes, ma'am. So actually, all the students will be joining till 4. Actually, they have been instructed for 4 p.m. So we will have to wait for some time.
Yeah. Hans, are you the co-host now?
Wait, I will see. I don't know whether I'm host or co-host, but I do have screen sharing options.
I think that you should bring it back to Basant, because if you need to, the host will let you in. So you have to let in the people. I think you should give that authorities to Basant, because
I just trying to find out how to do that. I make you host now, Basant.
Yes, very good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Actually, people were 14 were in the waiting list at that time.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good
afternoon, everyone.
Hello. Good afternoon, sir.
Hi, Hans. Hi, Rob.
Hi, Yogesh.
Hi, Basant.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
Hello, everybody.
Good evening, sir.
Basant, pleased to meet you.
So same here.
I see Inge Mette from Norway is cooling us all down with a view of the snow-clad mountains outside of her house. Enjoy. Rajasthan must be warming up in April.
Yes, it is my window. I think it's frozen water. So if we are talking about water and nature, it's nice to see snow. Here we have a snowstorm in Norway.
What is the weather like right now in the area of Udaipur?
So it is hot. It is very hot, sir. Around possibly it might be around 40 degrees Celsius today.
Oh, wow. Yeah, summer has started.
Yes. So it starts in Udaipur. It starts with March itself only.
That the first monsoon rains would come and people would start dancing in the rain. And also the peacocks were very happy. They were dancing with the people.
Vasant,
Yes, sir.
there is a request.
Yes, sir, please.
Once the session starts, just advise all the participants to mute their mics. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yesterday, some background sound was coming at some time.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
And be vigilant about that intruder. Okay. The moment it comes, you have to catch it.
So
Wow.
today I will take care about it, sir, from my end.
Thank you. I know you will. Rob, your friend had intruded yesterday again.
Sorry, Yogesh. Hi, good to see you. I didn't get you. Sorry. Tell me again.
I said your friend, Felix Gilbert, who intruded in your first batch meeting.
Okay.
He was yesterday again. Okay.
Oh, how wonderful. Well, we have a good number of people showing up. I think we're close to 50. Yeah. Lovely.
So till 4 p.m. maximum students will join. So they are instructed to join till 4. Sir.
Sure. Well, meantime, maybe some people can just to tell a little story that comes to their mind, maybe about weather or climate or water.
Well, Rob, yesterday we had a beautiful day with all the students together with Basant. And you should have been here, and we're so happy that you can come today. And you are also living in the Amazon on the other side of the planet. It's beautiful. So
yes, I'm very privileged to live in a rainforest. Of course, India has beautiful rainforests as well.
Wow.
Especially in the Northeast, as you know, and especially in the area of Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, that side, there are beautiful, lush rainforests. But I must say, Rajasthan for me is one of the most beautiful places I've ever visited. I've been there many times. In fact, I wrote 2 travel guides about India and Rajasthan more than 30 years ago. So I'm surely they are very outdated now. But
yes.
I'm very familiar with the area.
So the World Climate School is in Rajasthan and in Norway and many places. And learning from everywhere, from everyone. We are teachers and we are learners, and here is the Chetna Rangbhoomi group is coming in. Wow.
Ah, Chetna is there.
Chetna is there.
Magic Chetna.
Chetna is there.
Hi.
The colors. Hello, Chetna.
Hi, Hans. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello, hello,
ma'am.
hello.
Hi, Anu. Hello, Kanishk. Divyanshu. Hi, Suk.
Let's all for a moment unmute and say hello to Chetna.
Yay.
Yes.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello.
Chetna.
Hi, Chetna. Hey, Chetna.
Hello.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello. Good to see you. Hi, Basanji.
Hi, ma'am. Good evening. How are you, ma'am?
Yeah, namaste. Good. We're good.
It was an amazing session, ma'am. Even I enjoyed, and I was enjoying like kid yesterday. If many of you have even observed that thing, I was picking the tomato when you told me to do so, and along with it, I was following all the instructions. Yes.
Yeah, I saw you like a child. It was wonderful to see you.
I actually envy you, Chetna, because you are going to do the fun part. I have to do very serious stuff with you guys. However, I think that although the stuff is serious, I think it could be a lot of fun to make our world more beautiful. So even if you get to hear some very heavy stuff today, it doesn't mean that it's going to stay heavy. Actually, we're going to have a ball getting ourselves out of trouble.
Sure. Anirudh, you're asking me where is Rangbhoomi. Even I am searching. Anirudh has sent a message. My other members, even I am looking for them. They've been missing since afternoon. So you have to call out for them. Only that is how they come out of there. I don't know where they are. So you have to call out for Roshan, Nikhil, Anurag.
Roshan, where are you hiding? Are you behind a tree?
I don't know. Even I'm searching for them.
I always hear that you have leopards in the suburbs of Mumbai. Do you think maybe he got caught by one?
Well, I must call the forest department. Maybe Rob. Why not? JPG, hi, just saw you.
So even if it is snow outside my window, I still have to think about planting a seed.
That's good. That's good. We all know that trees are part of the solution.
Yes, but look.
And trees bring birds, and birds bring song and happiness.
So we are now 60.
So nice to see so many of you wonderful young
Morning,
people.
sir.
Hi there.
Hi.
Good afternoon, sir. Good morning,
Hello,
sir.
Suman.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Hello, Aniruddha.
So I think we should start. It is already 4:02. So first of all, good evening, everyone. And Abhishek sir will be joining after some time. He is in some work today. So probably he will be joining at 4:20 today. And so I will be taking the session for that time. So first of all, I would like to congratulate everyone. The day one of our session, which was amazing, and all of my students, the study students, enjoyed the session. Even they texted me back and they told me, sir, it was amazing. Let's do one more time. And I told them, yes, you are going to get many such sessions and you will be learning a lot. So with this, I would like to first greet Jogesh Mahato sir to take the meeting from this end. Sir, please.
Thank you, Mr. Vasant. Welcome, everyone. I'm happy that you are happy. The happiness is to spread from each one to each one. Okay. So there's such a small, cute, smiling faces. Behind that is intelligent brain. I saw it yesterday. That's the thing. It's a mixture of brain and beauty we are watching. And the brave boys and girls both are there to take the challenges in future. So I appreciate your time. I appreciate your effort in learning the things, because learning is the first step where you will get the strength to grow and then help others to grow. That's the thing. So let us not waste time. I know all of you are waiting for the Rangbhoomi team to join us and just charge us before we launch the actual session. So I invite Chetna ma'am and team, please take over the lead now and just surprise us. Chetna ma'am, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, I think there are some people at the door. Oh, wait. Wait. My God, these intruders, I tell you. And you know what? In India, hamara thoda hai. We don't call up people and come. We just come in anytime, yeah? Okay, wait. Who's that?
Wait.
Oh my God. Who are
Oh
these
my God.
people? Oh, hello.
Hello.
Yes, we can all ask them who they are. Yes, please ask.
Who are you? Who are you?
Who are you?
Who are you?
मछली जल की रानी है, जीवन उसका पानी है. Yes, fish might be the queen of the ocean, but I am the king of the world. मेरे बिना ये सब पानी कम चाय है. Oh, I mean, without me, your life is lifeless. Yes, everyone's life is lifeless. My name is water.
मुझे घूमना पसंद है, मैं हमेशा घूमती रहती हूँ, मैं सबका भार उठाती हूँ, मैं पृथ्वी हूँ.
There's so much population in this world.
I am a very important part of all your lives. And maybe all of you wouldn't be able to survive if I wasn't there. And right now, I'm not in a very good shape. So, you are the one who should help me. I am air.
Beep 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 pop pop beep beep. There's so much traffic jam. Beep 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 pop 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 beep beep.
Okay. Wait. Listen. Sir, you. Oh, Basanji. Oh, okay. Hans ji. No. Arey, Mohit ji. Buy from me. 5% discount. Life insurance, medical insurance, everything. Huh? Rob, did you say in the video climate insurance? No. I don't sell climate insurance. ऐसा होता ही नहीं. Who wants to worry about climate? Oh, buy medical insurance. Okay, buy medical. Huh? I am that ignorance inside all of you.
Insurance. Climate insurance. You have it.
Please, God, please.
Climate
You
insurance.
only can save us. You only can save us.
You have
We can't do
climate
anything. You only can save us.
Thank you. So, welcome everybody. Today we had with us water. Remember? Who else was there with us? Who was this person?
Mango tree.
Mango tree. You remember?
Mountain.
Yes.
Mountain.
Yes, he was a mountain. Water. Who else was there?
Lake.
Okay, yes. Leaf and air and mountain and
Mango tree.
mango tree. Oh, you guys remember the mango tree. I really like it. Yes, and I am the insurance. Do you think there is something called as climate insurance?
No.
No. Do you really want that something like this should happen? That we have to buy climate insurance?
No.
Before, yes, before that. Okay, so this was from us. And today, of course, the video that we're going to watch is around land, water, and the level of the water. But before that, you guys have to start doing something, okay? So I'm going to invite you all to stand. Let's stand. Let's stand. Come on, come on.
Okay, so I request everyone to please get up, get up, get up, get up. Come on, how many times will you sit and watch every time? Come on, come on, come on, come on. Please get up from your seat. Yes. Quick, 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 quick. Okay, so I request everyone to follow my action. Okay, let's see what action I'm doing. Yes. Come on, come on, come on. Like swimming. Yes. Everyone can follow. Right now, I am the leader, and let's see. After some time, someone else will become the leader. Okay, now over to Anurag. Anurag, come. You are the leader. Whoa, whoa. Yes, yes. If there is any sound, we can create that. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh. Yes, yes, yes. Come on, come on, come on, come on.
Now over to Nikhil.
Yes. So jump.
Jump, jump, jump,
Down.
Come on, everyone. Jump.
Left. Right. Right. Okay, jump.
Yes. Whoa!
Come on,
Yes.
baby.
Come on, all of you. Get up. Come on. Vedayi, Mohit.
Now let's follow Jogesh ji.
Okay, Jogesh ji. Let's follow. Let's spotlight Jogesh ji. Yes.
Yes.
Follow.
Yes. Oh, let's follow Rob. Yes. Oh, Vashti. Yes. Come on. Yeah, hands.
Come on, hands. Yes.
Oh, yes. Woo, Ishan, come on, yes. Come on, yes. Don't check your video. Yes. Come on, Mohit. Move your hands. Yes.
Yes. Whoa.
Yes, come on, Vedi. Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. That was brilliant. Okay, so we can all take our seats and catch your breath. That was beautiful watching Hans and Rob on Indian dance. Yes, yes, wonderful. So I'm going to invite you all to just take some few seconds, come back to your breath, and let's center ourselves. Maybe we can just take notice of our breath, where our breath is, inhalation, exhalation, and just one small, maybe we'll spend a few seconds to see if our toes are touching the ground wherever you are. If you can bring your attention to the feet, the toes touching the ground, the Mother Earth. Even if we are sitting on the concrete, if your feet are on the concrete, that's okay. They're still moving back to the Mother Earth. Just getting our attention back and thanking in deep gratitude to the Mother Earth for nourishing us. And now that we've centered ourselves and given our gratitude, I'm going to invite you all to go back to all what you have been using in your lives: pen, pencils, microchips, phones, laptops. Just go back and think whatever you've been using right now around you. And I'm going to invite you all to just think of where these materials come from. What's the end source? Just for a few seconds, even if it's the microchip, where does it come from? Maybe the food that you're eating, the table that you're on, the chair that you're sitting, where is it all coming from? Anything. Okay, just think about that. And when you think about that, let's come back to this session and let's go to the chat button. So what we are going to do is a chat avalanche. So don't put an enter button, but we will just write the answers. What did you think of? Maybe if you thought of a chair, just write what's the source of the chair? You know, what's the source of the chair? You thought of mobile, a microchip inside. Where did it come from? So yes, so on a count of 3, we will all start to write. And then I will say 3, we will all say enter. So let's have like a chat avalanche. Okay, so let's go. 1, 2, 3. Yay! Wonderful. Earth, wood, tree, earth, earth. Yes. Mother Earth, nature, wood, metal, food, farm, earth. Beautiful. Wood. Wow, wow, wood, nature, yes, metal, yes, trees, yes, Mother Earth, nature. Thanks, that was so beautiful. So that we all know motherland, yes, Mother Earth, yes, where they beautiful. So just with this, with the deep gratitude, yes, to the Mother Earth, let's move on to our session, being in awareness that whatever we are getting is to also nourish the Mother Earth back, is in being in deep gratitude. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody, for participating in this. I hand it back to Jogeshji. Thank you.
Thank you, Chetnaji, for energizing the entire team. Every time you come, the people get charged. So now the stage is going to be handed over to one of the most knowledgeable person on climate among us. His name is Rob Delight. He will rob you of your no knowledge on climate, okay, unawareness on climate, but he will delight you of the knowledge what he has on the climate change and educate you to understand the climate in a better way. So let's welcome Mr. Rob. The stage is yours.
Thank you, Yogesh. Again, thank you very much, Chetna, but also everyone to see so many wonderful, intelligent, bright faces with the hearts in the right place and a future ahead of you. You will soon see a module that was pre-recorded about several aspects of climate change, of a little bit more about our Earth, how air and water play a big role in our lives, but at the same time are not infinite, and how complex the problems we have right now are. At the same time, there are solutions. We'll see that in the sessions after this. Some of it will already relate to India, but basically it is a planetary a problem that we need to solve, all of us, for us to get to make sure that we have a bright future. All of you have a bright future. So I hope the session is a bit heavy, but luckily Chetna and Rangbhumi will come to the aid again after a while to cheer us up for the next part. So please pay attention to this lecture. Thank you. So Vasant, I guess you play the, I don't know who plays the video.
Yes,
I guess
yes,
you, huh?
yes, sir. Thank you so much,
good.
sir. I will be playing the video from my end, sir.
Thank you.
Is it visible to everyone, the screen?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Dear friends, before you start taking in the information from this course, I would like you to advise you to take the time you need to really absorb it. First of all, the subject of this course is huge. It's about the preservation and continuation of human life on Earth in all of its aspects: economic, social, political, ecological, and so on. But it's also dizzying and even psychologically stressing to try to absorb the size of the challenges and the totality of the solutions that are needed. So when you watch this video, stop and repeat where you need to. Sometimes you may have to do it several times. Take enough time to understand the statistics and the graphs. And sometimes you may want to do your own research online to dig deeper. Good luck with it. We are here to support your journey, and remember, we're all in this together. Welcome to Module 2 of Climate Change, the Fight of Our Lives, from Emergency to Solutions. This module will be brought to you by Rob Delart. He will be speaking to you directly from the Amazon forest in Brazil, where he is living. He will start by introducing himself and the theme he'll be talking about.
Welcome to the second module of the World Climate School course on climate change. The title today is Climate Change, the Dire Consequences of a Warming Planet. We will talk about the consequences, the challenges, but also take a look at what can be done globally, and in some cases also we will touch on the situation in India, although in further modules you will hear much more about that. My name is Rob Delart. I live in Brazil, where I work on forest protection, reforestation, and rewilding an area where nature is under pressure and species are becoming extinct. I'm a board member of the World Climate School Norway, a supporter of the great movement Fridays for Future, and I'm especially focusing in my daily work on saving the Amazon forest. I will be your teacher for today. The planet is heating up fast. In this chart you see the scenarios which the IPCC, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, has drawn in their reports. This United Nations group of experts is showing that there are several possibilities, as you can see. And depending on the amount of CO2 in the atmosphere, temperatures will increase this century by between 2 and 6 degrees centigrade. Right now, we are on track for the worst case scenario, also called the business as usual scenario. It is the red line in the graph called the RCP 8.5 scenario, with a maximum of 5.4 C rise in temperature. And right now we are already at 1.2 degrees rise in 2020, and the effects are noticeable around the world, with a huge increase in extreme weather events, including more and stronger cyclones, floodings, heat waves, and droughts. Although no one knows for sure, we can assume that organized human civilization probably is incompatible with more than 3 degrees average rise in global temperature. So right now we're on a path which will be the end of organized human civilization. Global heating is causing the ice caps to melt, with new record melting seen all the time from the Greenland ice sheet and the Antarctica ice sheet. In this chart, you see that there is a possibility that by the end of the century, the total sea level rise could be up to 2.4 meters. All that is an extreme scenario, but more than a meter is very, very likely. Also, there's a lot of melting at the so-called third pole, which holds tens of thousands of glaciers on the central mountains of Asia, including the Hindu Kush, the Himalayas, and the Tibetan Plateau. Together, all the ice on land holds the potential of 65 meters of sea level rise. And the third pole in Asia is disgorging billions of tons of fresh water into the ocean via rivers like the Indus, the Ganges, the Brahmaputra, the Mekong, and the Yangtze-Kiang rivers. A total of about 1.5 billion people are dependent on the meltwaters of the rivers flowing from this third pole. The problem is also made worse because frozen areas in the north of on the north of the planet, the Siberian areas and areas in Canada and Alaska, the so-called permafrost areas, are beginning to melt, releasing trapped carbon. This could cause a vicious circle of increased CO2 into the atmosphere and further warming. Sea level rise is already affecting some low-lying areas around the world, including in Bangladesh, Vietnam, and the east coast of the United States. Especially in the river deltas in Asia, we see that already millions are affected, in causing migration of many of those who lose their land to the sea or due to salination. In Module 3, we will touch more on the situation in India, but already we would like to state that Mumbai is one of the cities that will be affected by a combination of sea level rise, more extreme rainfall events, and highly inadequate draining systems. On this slide, you see an overview of the cities that are at risk from sea level rise, including many large and known ones with populations of over 10 million, and many smaller as well. The IPCC report says that the global average sea level rise could now be up to 1.1 meter by 2100, but they do not include the risks of fast Antarctic melting due to ice sheet vulnerability and collapse. And there's a chance, as we saw in the last sheet, that it could reach and go beyond even 2 meters, which would bring enormous problems to the world. Anyway, it won't stop after that. It will go on for centuries. And rising sea levels here threaten about a total of 130 large coastal cities around the world, including many on tidal rivers. And as you can see, mega cities like London, New York, Karachi, Bangkok, Mumbai, Shanghai, and Jakarta are all already will be under threat during this century. Indonesia recently announced that it will move its capital city, Jakarta, to a new location on another island due to a combination of problems. And one of the reasons was the increased and projected flooding of the low-lying parts of the city due to sea level rise and sinking of soils, which is caused by the drainage of groundwater and the weight of all the buildings that are built there. So this city, which including its suburban areas has tens of millions of people, will have to be moved as a government seat, which and the cost of it are just tens and tens of billions of dollars. On this map, you can see what a huge problem it will be if this really comes to pass. So global warming is of course the same as the increasing heat of atmosphere, of water, of land. And as you can see in this chart, we see that global temperatures have risen a lot, but on the land surface, much higher than on the ocean surface. The average air temperature overland has increased about double as much as those overseas. And record temperatures are being broken all the time around the world, with temperature records now regularly breaking the 50 degrees centigrade barriers in countries like Australia, the US, the Middle East, Pakistan and India. You may recall the terrible heat wave that struck India in the summer of 2019. Despite the heating caused by the increasing greenhouse gas levels in the atmosphere, the heating up of the planet's atmosphere is slowed because more than 90% of this excess heat generated by climate change is absorbed by the oceans. But the heat waves and the number of hot days are increasing fast around the world. And heat waves can burden health and emergency services, and also increase the strain on water and energy supplies and on transportation, resulting in power cuts and shortages or blackouts. They also affect food and the livelihood of people, and they can result in the loss of crops or livestock due to the extreme heat. Wealthy people often think they can be protected from the heat by their air conditioners during these heat waves. And even when the power grid goes off, expensive generators can give them the cool that they need. But air conditioners actually stop working with outside temperatures higher than 56 degrees, and those days are coming. While the number of people officially dying from heat stroke are maybe reported in the thousands per year, the actual number of people dying due to unbearable heat is in fact much, much higher and on the increase. So but let us zoom out a bit again and look at planet Earth, your home, my home, our only home. We live on this sphere floating through the endless space and heated by the sun, teeming with life. And all life on this amazing, exceptional planet is completely dependent on air, water and fertile soil. The thin layer of gases around our world and the bit of water that is there is making this piece of rock teeming with life. It is a miraculous place and it's an exceptional place. We haven't seen anything like it yet. When people think we are too small to make big changes on our planet, we need to realize that the total amounts of water, air and soil make up just a fraction of the total planet. This is a picture from the International Space Station, courtesy to NASA. And you can see the thin line of the Earth's atmosphere at the moment of the setting sun. It's clearly visible how thin it is. This thin layer of gas around our amazing planet is keeping you and me alive right now. And it is in fact partly the product of life itself. The oxygen was produced by bacteria that could live from energy of the sun and carbon dioxide in the water, producing oxygen as a waste product. The oxygen began to build up in the atmosphere while the carbon dioxide levels continued to drop. That oxygen, still being produced by plants, trees and algae today, is keeping us alive. And the CO2 that is recycled by nature is keeping our planet warm enough not to freeze to death. Without CO2 and methane in the atmosphere, the two most important greenhouse gases, Earth's average temperature would be around -18 degrees centigrade instead of the much warmer 15 degrees centigrade it is now globally year-round, on average. The concentration of greenhouse gases has fluctuated naturally over geological timescales, resulting in ice ages and in hot periods when Antarctica was covered with forests. So now that you have seen how small the layer of gases is around the planet that keep us alive, the same or even more goes for water, and especially fresh water. Water, as you know, is crucial for life. Fresh water is crucial for life on land. But like air, the total amount of water is tiny compared to our planet. Here you see how our blue planet actually is made of rock with just a tiny bit of water. The larger two of the small water drops here in the picture signify all the water in the oceans, and the smaller one the fresh water in lakes, rivers, and glaciers. Water evaporates and rains down in rivers and lakes and moisturing the land. And this ongoing process called the water cycle or hydrocycle is a crucial mechanism vital for all life on land. And the heating of the planet is disturbing the water cycle. For every degree centigrade increase in air temperature, the air can hold 7% more water vapor, increasing extreme rainfall events. Climate change is primarily caused by the increase of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, as you know, but the second cause is that of the disruption of the water cycle. Water cools when it evaporates. That makes a forest 5 to 10 degrees cooler during a heat wave due to the evaporation power of the tree leaves and the shade under its canopy. Humans have removed a lot of these trees and also drained a lot of lakes and swamps, which balanced temperatures in those areas. We will see that apart from the very urgent necessity to stop the emissions of greenhouse gases fast, the second thing we need to focus on is balancing the water cycle and retaining water on land, in aquifers, in soils, and in vegetation. Another fact a lot of people are not aware of is the effect of heat on photosynthesis. Most life, and certainly human life, depends on plant growth for food directly, and for those who eat meat or use dairy products, to the plants those animals eat. We all know that plants don't grow without water. But what is lesser known is that plants stop to grow above 40 degrees centigrade because the process of photosynthesis simply stops. And high night temperatures also stunt the growth of rice, wheat, and corn considerably. And these are some of the most important crops around the world. More nights over 24 degrees during the growing season decreases the harvest considerably, and extreme temperatures from 50 degrees centigrade and above simply kill most annual crops. So plants are threatened by both drought and by heat. At the same time, we can also find that air temperatures above 40 degrees centigrade hardly happen as long as the soil still holds moist that can evaporate. So moist soils are one of the best protections against extreme heat and the effects on food production. So keep this heat effect on food production in mind when thinking what the consequences are of global heating, of global warming. So let me stress once more that the first priority globally must be to stop the emission of greenhouse gases. There is no doubt about that. Yet we should also realize that there are many other ways in which we are affecting the natural balance that is vital for life. We are changing the world's habitats both on land and underwater. We have removed half of 6 billion trees globally in the last 2,000 years or so. And this has dried out many lands. Imagine what climate change can do and what we are doing to this planet. It's only 6,000 years ago that Northern Africa was a place of trees, of savannas, of grasslands, and some lakes, and people, nomadic people. Today we know it as the Sahara, the largest desert in the world. And half the topsoil on the planet has been lost in the last 150 years, mainly through agriculture and animal husbandry and the removal of forests. And using a chemical fertilizer is only a temporary solution to the degraded topsoils. And the problem will worsen. So here on this slide, you can see an overview of what is already happening. And on the sea, we see especially the overfishing, which has collapsed fish stocks in many places, and ocean acidification, which is affecting many calcium holding skeletons of animals in the sea. While the disruption caused by us humans is extremely fast on geological timescales, it is relatively slow on a human timescale. And this forms a huge problem in us tackling the most dangerous problem we have ever encountered. Because climate change will kill many of us if we don't do anything about it. But because it is going relatively slow within the lifetime of a human, it is difficult to perceive. And we call this problem the shifting baseline of perception. Our grandfathers were used to large catches of large fishes, but that abundance has disappeared over decades, but very slowly. The same goes for landscapes, for rising temperatures, for the increasing water scarcity, for the changes in weather. And humans are great to fight acute crises, like a house on fire, but we're very bad at reacting to these slow deteriorations of the quality of life in our surroundings. The problem with climate change and related challenges is that by the time we realize and we feel the impact, we are too late to do something about it. Still, we do take a car insurance in case of an accident, or a fire insurance in case of a fire. So why are we not taking insurance on the future of our children? We have to realize that our perception is not helping us to understand the problem, so we have to do it with our mind. Another terrible example of the changing baseline of perception is the fact that we hardly notice that millions of species of plants and animals are under threat of extinction or are already gone. The explosion of human population has triggered what we now call the sixth mass extinction. You can see here in this chart the increase of human population, and you see that actually very short time ago, in the modern age, about 200 years ago, suddenly it has gone up exponentially. The last great extinction wiped out the dinosaurs 65 million years ago, and that was caused by an asteroid. Right now, we are in what people call the sixth mass extinction, which is wiping out species as fast as during that time, or maybe even faster. As the human population increases to grow, we consume more, destroy more habitat, kill more animals for food, release more pollution into the atmosphere, soil and water supply, all of which increases the rate of extinction of species. and species are disappearing at up to 100 times the normal rate, and as many as 1 million species could disappear by the end of.
Huh, sir, I have one question. When do I have to stop the video?
Now you can stop it.
Okay, okay, fine, sir. That was my question. Thank you.
Yeah, 24.15 was the time.
Yes, sir. So I have stopped the video now, so we can proceed for the further session, Jogesh sir. So
Yes.
if you can take the charge, sir.
Okay, you have to bring down the screen.
Yes, yes, I am doing it, sir.
Yeah. So that people are visible.
Yes, it is visible now.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Rock, for midway. We are having a small intermission because water was dealt in detail, and hope many of you would have understood. And I also feel many of you would not have understood it. So don't worry. We will make out steps how to understand the jargons. Maybe your faculty and we will work together. Some of the words used here might not be easy for you to understand. It's too early for you. We will work out on that part. So don't worry on that part. Just finish the session and then we'll chat. Now, I would invite again Chetna ma'am and team to take over the charge. The participants' faces are looking little dull, so you have to charm them, you have to energize them, okay? Yes, children, all the participants unmute and invite Miss Chetna. Then only she will come. Unmute.
Come, Miss Chetna, ma'am.
Chetna, where are you?
Yeah.
Where are you, Chetna ma'am?
Where
are you,
Where are you, Chetna, ma'am?
Hello.
Chetna, ma'am.
I'm right here, but there is some beautiful music. Some musicians have come to my place. Let's watch. Who are these musicians?
पूजा होवे नाम गावे जी घर घर में पूजा हो नाम धारो गावे जी मारो हेलो सुनो जी मारा पी मारो हेलो सुनो जी मारा पी जय माता जी की जय हो ओ राम जी प्यास लाग रही है भाई जी कोई पानी पियाता रे
Sir, sir, I heard you were very thirsty, so I bring you water. This is $200 only. Only $200.
जी धन्यवाद लाओ पानी पा दो लाओ
No, sir. First, money you have to pay. First, you have to pay money, and then you will get water back.
And freeze. Hello, everybody. So, what's happening? These people here. Do you know who these people are? Both of them. Anybody? Any guesses?
Ma'am, may I try?
Yes, Anirudh.
Ma'am, one is mango tree and one is mountain.
I like this mango tree. I love this. You guys with the mango tree. Wow. Okay. Today, you see their costumes are different, their headgear. So let's ask them, who are they? Quite expensive water. Yeah.
One might be Indian and other might be the foreigner selling
Okay.
water.
Who said that? Who said that?
Ma'am, Riyan.
Okay. So why do you think one is Indian and one is not Indian? Why? Please. Very, very interesting, you said. Very good observation. Please.
Ma'am, because the person who is sitting has worn an Rajasthani dress and other is speaking in, yes, that person. And other is who is selling water is asking for dollars, not for rupees.
Ah,
Yeah.
wow, you're a great listener. Okay, all right. And thank you so much. And somebody, yes, that's the song that was going on. Okay, Rajasthani and foreigner. So let's ask them, who are these? We have to check. Okay, we have to check. So please, आप कौन है बताइए?
जी मैं तो यहाँ अपने गांव में रहा हूँ और प्यास लाग रही है, बहुत देर हो गया गाता गाता, तो प्यास लाग रही है.
Oh, so he's a common villager and he's very thirsty because he sang a song for all the folk of the village. So he's just thirsty, he needs water. And who is this? Let's ask.
And I am the
Who are you?
water.
Yes, people are asking, who are you? Louder.
I'm the man who deals in water.
Who deals in water? Oh my God, do you think somebody can deal in drinking water? Can it?
No.
No?
No.
Why? No?
No,
Why?
ma'am.
Why? No? Why?
Ma'am, because water is free for everyone.
Really? Wow.
Yes. Yes,
Could be.
ma'am.
Wonderful, wonderful, beautiful. So, but why are they doing this? Why is he selling it so expensive? Somebody just told it's very expensive, $200. So, anybody, why do you think this water is so expensive?
He might be greedy.
He might be greedy. Okay, it's free nowadays, but it's expensive. Somebody's writing. So let's go back to them and ask them because they are the ones who were dealing in water. So let's see. One. Okay, everybody has to... Yes. Who's speaking? Yes, go ahead.
Teacher, it could be water shortage.
Water shortage. Okay.
And it
Yes, the level of water is coming down.
Level of water.
Ma'am, it could be like this also. He
Yeah.
need more money
Oh,
to
people
buy
want
vegetables and groceries for him.
he might want
As fresh water is very very less.
fresh water is very less available. Yes. And Yashvi.
Fresh water is only
Ma'am.
2% in earth. Only 2%. Fresh water is very less in earth. That's why he is selling expensive.
But ma'am, but in villages the fresh water is in plenty amount.
Yes, Vihan, that you're so right. So let's ask the villager then what's the struggle here? I'm sure the villager will speak. So Vihan, what I'm going to ask you, so if you would like to come on camera or maybe unmute, I'm going to invite you to speak to the villager and talk to him, okay? So I'm going to invite the villager, sir, please. Aapka naam kya hai?
मारो नाम रमेश है जी.
Ramesh is here. And yes, hi, good. Thank you for coming on the video. So Vihan, now you are going to be in the spotlight. You are the actor with us. So please, can you tell the villager, and you can talk to this person who's dealing in water, that why is he asking for money, okay? When I say live, you can talk to them. 1, 2, 3, live. Yes, both of you.
रमेश जी, गांव में तो पानी एकदम फ्री में मिलता है, एकदम साफ, तो फिर आप पैसे देके क्यों मांग रहे हो? और आप भाई साहब, आप भी पैसे इतना महंगा क्यों मांग रहे हो? 20 रुपए 10 रुपए में पानी की बोतल मिल जाती है.
But this is mineral water. This is not sada pani that Bisleri and all. This is
कोई पानी चल जाता है.
सादे पानी में और ज्यादा मिनरल्स होते हैं मिनरल्स से, क्योंकि मिनरल्स में मिनरल्स हटा देते हैं.
is very rare.
No water is
We
not rare.
can drink Fatehsagar Lake water also. If we put
Yes.
it in boiling, we can boil it and drain it and drink it.
और विलेजेस में तो सबसे ज्यादा प्योर पानी मिलता है, और वहीं पे आप इतना महंगा बेच रहे हो.
But what can I say that
You can say that you can reduce the money and sell it to him, or he can directly drink it from the river.
You have to sell it in $10 or $1.
$1 is too less. I also need to earn money. I have to fool people then, no? To earn money.
For you, $1 is less, but for her it is 72 rupees.
And freeze. Very good. Thank you, guys. This is very good. Wonderful that you pointed out that yes, he is definitely doing something here. And all of you just also spoke about that the lack of water, that we're not taking care of water. And in the village, the water is available, which is pure. So Ramesh ji, आपके गांव में क्या-क्या कहाँ पानी मिलता है?
ये हमारे गांव में तो कुओं में मिलता है और बावड़ियों में मिलता है और प्याऊ भी लगाते हैं इधर तो मैडम जी.
Oh, अच्छा. Does somebody know the concept of प्याऊ?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, ma'am.
Please share. Please
No,
share.
ma'am.
Ma'am,
It's
small tank of water
Mhm.
outside every house. There is a small tank of water.
Yes.
Okay, and how much do you pay for that?
Ma'am, some
teacher,
people
it's free.
places a water tank in front of at a what we can say at a choraya for in to do a work, a kind of a work of charity.
Ah, so
Ma'am,
it's
is that
And
water cycle or
And
Yes.
some put
rainwater
tanks
harvesting?
for animals.
support tanks and
Yes.
animals, yes, and it's
It,
for free. That you're saying it's on charity basis. There is humanity which is available for all of us. We have to just access that. So beautiful. And sorry, Mohit, you were saying something. Please share.
yes, ma'am, I was saying that only that some people do it for as a work of charity, but some greedy people are also there. They do it to earn money.
Okay. So my next exploration to all of you is maybe we suggest some ways that we can preserve this water, because some of you said it's lack due to lack of water, scarcity of water. But what can we do as common citizens of India, of the earth? What can we do to preserve this
stop
and not
throwing
let the
garbages.
man come here? Okay.
Ma'am, we can store rainwater harvesting.
Wow.
Ma'am, we can save water from wasting.
Ma'am, we can take the water from the rain and we can put out a bucket or like that, a
Mhm.
big stuff, and the rain will come and the water will store in it.
Wonderful.
Then we
And
can
we
put
can
it in our house.
Ma'am,
Wonderful.
stop throwing
And the
garbages in the
water
lake.
from which we are
Mhm.
and the water from which we are washing vegetables and all, we can put them in plants and water them so that we don't have to use too much.
Wow, you already
Yes,
guys
ma'am.
are amazing.
Ma'am, when we boil something,
Mhm.
that water we can also put in plants. And
Wow, yeah.
and from vegetable peels and fruit peels we can make fertilizer and give to plants for good oxygen.
Anirudh, you are please welcome to join Rangbhumi. Okay, amazing. Please come, invitation. Okay, amazing. You guys are also amazing. Rainwater harvesting, amazing. Yes, stop wasting water. Repair leaking taps and reuse domestically used water. There's some amazing answers. So Ramesh ji से हम कुछ बात करते हैं. So Ramesh ji, please, बच्चों ने इतना सारा they spoke so much. So आपका क्या ख्याल है कि ये पानी आप इनसे जो खरीद रहे हैं, you're going to buy water. आप कैसे कैसे पानी को आप संभाल सकते हैं, बचा सकते हैं? बच्चों की बात आपने सुनी.
जी, बच्चे तो बिल्कुल ठीक कह रहे हैं और आगे से हम ध्यान देंगे इस बात का बिल्कुल कि पानी को बचाने के लिए जो जो आप लोगों ने कहा है वो सारे काम करेंगे और आसपास के लोगों को भी समझाएंगे.
Okay, and so he's got your message, everybody. Thank you. And what are you going to tell him? This person, he's still here. What do we tell him?
Ma'am, take him to policeman. Then policeman will put him in jail.
Put him into jail.
Oh my God. But we can be
20
kind to him
years
and tell him. We can be kind to him and tell him also that what can he do? Yes. We can also tell him some
He
suggestions.
could compensate in his rates.
We could compensate.
Yes.
Mhm.
He can.
Please less your rates.
Oh yeah, you can reduce your prices. Okay, okay. Stop cheating people for money. Okay, speak politely and tell. Yes, he can be polite. Yes, and tell. Wonderful.
And give water free.
Oh yes, we want free water. It's our yes, it's ours, Mother Earth. Yes.
It's all of the person's need. That's why.
Oh, it's a need, a basic need. Beautifully.
Yes,
Wonderful.
teacher.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So
We can aware people about saving water.
yes, we can. Yeah, he can be. They both can do that together, right? Now they both are aware. And somebody has written to me on a direct message, reduce the price to the amount which can be bought by everybody. Okay. But what about, of course, there are plastic bottles that we can talk later, but great suggestions. So let's say a bye to these with a song. Once again, Ramesh ji, please sing us the song and you can have the water. Yes, you can have Pani Pee Lijiye. It's free water. Yes. Oh, Ramesh ji has got water, free water. Yes, wonderful. And he will leave us with a song. And you can also join, please. Sorry.
चलो जी.
Oh, he's not happy. He's looking at my bottle.
रूड़ी तेरा ताज माल गिरा कमरा माता तेरा तेरा लाल रानी है तेरा बंगाल माल.
Oh,
मारो
Bye, Ramesh.
Bye. Bye, Ramesh. Namaste. 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 Thank you, everybody. Over to Jogi.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rangbhumi, for a wonderful display. And I can say what has been played is not today's scenario. If we don't change our lifestyle and we continue to do what we are doing today, maybe 2040, 2050, 2060, we may have to face this kind of scenario where even $200, it will be rare to get the drinking water. So it is an alarm, and by this theater group, they have communicated us well in advance that please wake up. It's a wake-up call. Save water, save every individual, save the life on the earth. Is the message clear? Everybody to unmute and say whether they agree or they disagree.
Agree.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Agree.
Yes,
I
sir,
agree.
Yes,
sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Very much agree.
Great. Anybody who disagree? No, that's great. So everybody understand water is a scarcity, water is our life, one of the important ingredient of our survival. So we must save water, must preserve water. Okay, thank you. Now again, over to Basant to play Raf's video. We continue the session.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Kill more animals for food, maybe even why. The last great extinction wiped out the dinosaurs 65 million years ago, and that was caused by an asteroid. Right now, we are in what people call the sixth mass extinction, which is wiping out species as fast as during that time, or maybe even faster. As the human population increases to grow, we consume more, destroy more habitat, kill more animals for food, release more pollution into the atmosphere, soil and water supply, all of which increases the rate of extinction of species. And species are disappearing at up to 100 times the normal rate, and as many as 1 million species could disappear by the end of this century, leaving behind a much poorer world. Still, it doesn't have to be that way, because by protecting our planet's habitats, we can both stop species from going extinct and actually grow more and healthier food if we play our cards right. Please watch this 3-minute video from the Intergovernmental Science and Policy Platform on Biodiversity and Ecosystems Services, IPBES. It is an organization under the umbrella of the United Nations that focuses on the health of our planet's biodiversity and ecosystem services and formulates policies to protect the multitude of life on our planet. It is an important message and key in the total package of what we need to focus on in order to keep our planet livable.
Scientists estimate that billions of species have lived on Earth since life began around 3.5 billion years ago. And over the course of that time, 99% of them have become extinct. But scientists say we're now losing species at the fastest rate for millions of years. So what does this mean for the planet? And what does it mean for us?
So species go extinct normally. This is a natural process, but sometimes there are periods where a lot of species go extinct at a single event. And this is what it's called a mass extinction.
Scientists have identified 5 of these events in the history of the Earth. And from what they know, in each instance, around 75% of the planet's species disappeared over millions of years.
So we expect a number of species to go extinct every few thousands of years. But currently we have evidence of
an umbrella word to cover a whole range of interlinked challenges, some of which are mentioned in this list, the most important ones at least. And in order to understand our current situation, we need to take them all into account and understand the total context of challenges and solutions in order to get a system-wide idea of how to deal with this. So we're looking at climate change and extreme weather events, which is very much in the eye of many people. The energy challenge, the fossil fuels that we need to phase out, but how will we cover this with renewables? We have challenges about water, clean water for everybody and for agriculture, and food production challenges. Destruction of nature and loss of ecosystems and species extinction. Soil degradation and combined desertification. Fast population growth and the challenge of the viabilities of huge cities. We have the problem of increasing inequality globally and within countries and of financial instability. We have the problems of pollution of air, water and land, increasing epidemics and pandemics, and increasing conflict due to all of the above and the stresses that climate change and all these challenges are bringing to us. But maybe the most important challenge is not mentioned in this list, and that is the lack of knowledge and education. That it is about the misinformation and denial that is floated in the knowledge universe. And because in the end, we have created our current human society with all its flaws, it is us, it is our conscience, is our way of thinking to get us out of this problem and find solutions. So we need to understand the whole picture with all the aspects that are driving this complex change and challenge. So from this list of challenges, we will just highlight a couple now in the next couple of slides. And a key challenge is that of fresh water supply and the connected food production. Water use has grown at more than twice the rate of the human population, which already has exploded over the last century. And that's in large part due to agriculture, which in India, for instance, accounts of 80% of all water use. And there are many facets to this problem. On this map, you see the amount of water drawn from groundwater supplies around the world, where in some countries the withdrawals are extremely high, which means that the aquifers are actually losing water in the dark red areas. If aquifers are not replenished, at some point that water supply is going to stop giving, and rich agricultural areas, like for instance the Punjab, will see major water crises if not taken care of. You see that India is one of the countries which is borrowing water from its aquifers right now in terms that is unsustainable. Together with the extreme weather events like heavy rains and floods, droughts and heat waves, food production is under severe pressure already. And it is a matter of time before there will be food crisis if we do not adequately answer these complex challenges. A completely different aspect of all the interconnected challenges is the connection between the financial systems, climate, water, and food, for instance. The global financial system is globally interconnected, and based on the value of underlying assets. Debts are basically borrowed from future productivity and profits, based on which loans are provided. Right now, global outstanding debt is already above 3 years of total global production. In other words, we need totally 3 years of global GDP if we were to repay all the outstanding debt. But more and more of those assets are becoming doubtful. A high rise that gets flooded due to sea level rise, coal power plant that needs to pay taxes for pollution and becomes unprofitable. Those are just two examples of what could happen. Climate change also hits profits in, for instance, the agricultural sector, healthcare, and fisheries. Huge costs are already incurring. The cost related to India's economy for air pollution alone was an estimated 5.4% of GDP in India in 2019, according to an article in the Economic Times. And Indonesia has decided to move its capital from Jakarta, costing tens of billions of dollars, just to keep the city working. Oil-producing countries see their main assets lose value because of the energy transition to renewables. And a powerful cyclone can hit the stock market, so to speak. All these elements can create shocks to the global financial system and could lead to financial crises much larger than the one we had in 2008. The world economy works as an ecosystem that is completely interconnected and connected to the state of nature and the climate. All these interactive challenges are a great and increasing burden on the health of economies around the world. It is just a matter of time before these stress factors combined will hit the global economy in ways the COVID-19 pandemic is foreshadowing right now. These large events will decrease the resilience of billions of people, making their livelihoods more insecure and meager, or even worse. So in the previous slides, we have just been looking at a few of these challenges that in combination hold a real possibility of societal collapse through a number of stress factors combined, including the possibility of popular protests and uprisings. Collapse of societies are very common throughout history, but now we are entering a time where we could see a widespread global collapse due to all these factors and the stress multiplier effect of climate change around the world. The Syrian civil war is unfortunately now a classic example how pressures from drought and migration combined with rising food prices and differences between various segments of society plus brutal oppression made the society explode. And now, almost a decade later, the country is still in a state of collapse. Climate change typically works as a threat multiplier, for instance, because farmers lose their crops or extreme heat causes the electric grid to collapse. All these elements can drive a collapse of society, triggering untold suffering and death. Societies that can build their resilience, that adapt to these factors fast enough, may be able to avoid tragic outcomes like this. And that is what this course is all about. Please watch this cartoon for a lighter moment of this heavy information. And it is about the famous frogs being slowly boiled in a pot because they cannot come to the right conclusion about their situation and how to get out of it. Real frogs, by the way, jump out of the pan at some point. So let's hope that humans are as smart as frogs. There seems to be a natural human tendency to choose comfort over truth, to dabble in wishful thinking when the truth challenges our previously held worldviews, especially if it's one that is as disturbing or alarming as climate change and all the challenges coming at us. And we spend a lot of time and energy fighting each other over what is real. And that means that people deny things or water it down. But fortunately, time and again, humans have proven to solve massive problems when we agree on the causes and the solutions. The problem with our particular set of challenges is that we are running out of time, and the combined challenges are enormous and partly invisible yet. So what is needed is a courage to face up to the reality of the situation before it's too late. And however you look at it, we are already very late in the process. So what did we try so far? And what can we do? Together we have been working on agreements for the last 3 decades to slow down the destruction on our planet due to climate change, overconsumption, the destruction of nature, and the effects of pollution on water, land, and in the air. But while small successes have been made, overall the situation is still rapidly getting worse, despite all these attempts. And the combination of all these crises is what we call a super wicked problem, a very complex problem, difficult to fully understand, with solutions which are often slow and create new problems. For instance, phasing out fossil fuels is absolutely necessary, but almost impossible to do fast enough without collapsing the world economy. And it asks wealthy nations and people to reduce their footprint and transfer wealth from the north to the south. Several large conferences and treaties have been negotiated. The oldest is the Kyoto Protocol from 1992, when nations decided to reduce their greenhouse gas emissions, but so far with hardly any effects. The Convention on Biological Diversity tried to protect nature, again with little effect around the world. Right now, we are in the middle of implementing the Sustainable Development Goals, which were formulated in 2012. And they are getting some traction, but still there's a long way to go. The objective of the SDGs, as they are known, was to produce a set of universal goals that meet the urgent environmental, political, and economic challenges facing our world. And the most famous of them all was the Paris Agreement, agreed in 2015 at the COP21 conference in Paris. It was unanimously adopted to cut back global greenhouse gases to keep global warming of the planet below 2 degrees centigrade and preferably to maximum 1.5 centigrade. But it was done through voluntary national climate plans, and so far they don't add up to reaching these goals. So again, here it has to accelerate around the world. Right now, the effects are at best too slow to keep those goals. And in fact, we are still emitting according to the most disastrous worst case scenarios of the IPCC, which we saw earlier, the RCP 8.5 scenario, which would get us to maybe up to 6 degrees centigrade warming by the end of this century. The largest polluter in the world, the USA, left the agreement, but will luckily rejoin under Biden again. Only the COVID-19 pandemic has had a slightly positive effect on global emissions. But this is by far not enough. The effect of the pandemic probably has had a more important effect on us to reflect for a moment what situation we are in and how we can get out of it better, because that is what our challenge is. For just another light moment, please look at this cartoon, which is already a decade older. So we get to this situation where we are just looking at huge challenges, and no, it's not a hoax. But the debate is over about climate change. But the challenges are real and enormous. And the challenge goes for everyone, everywhere. And the list of what we have to do is enormous. But if we succeed to do indeed all these great changes, we can create a much better world for our children and future generations, including livable cities, renewable energy, clean water and air, a healthy environment for our children, and green jobs and beautiful nature. So that is what we are here for. Much needs to happen, but what does it mean in practice? We need to cut burning of fossil fuels as fast as possible. We need a water revolution, a food revolution, an energy revolution. We need to restore nature in our landscapes, create climate smart cities, and create climate smart rural communities. And most of all, we need a revolution of ourselves, our thinking. We need to realize that we are all in this together, and together we will swim, or together we will sink. I cannot stress enough that cutting the burning of fossil fuels needs to be the #1 priority everywhere. But that's easier said than done. As you can see in this chart, emissions have skyrocketed since we had the Kyoto Treaty. Since the signing of that protocol, we have gone up from 22 gigatons of CO2 emissions per year to 37 gigatons in 2019. While other stronger greenhouse gases like methane and nitrooxygen have gone up strongly as well. This means we are fast approaching the amount of CO2 in the atmosphere that could easily breach the 2 degrees warming limit that we have set for ourselves. If nothing changes fast, we will race past that limit before this decade is out, accumulating enough greenhouse gases to breach this 2 degrees centigrade limit. The full effect of CO2 released in the atmosphere reaches its peak only after a decade or so. So the warming we are now experiencing is largely from emissions up to 10 years ago. Especially the US, China, India and Russia need to do more, as well as the richest 10% of global citizens, which need to reduce their footprint. On a positive note, India recently came with their climate projections and was the only large country that could actually show that it was on target for its own goals. So, and especially the rich people need to do more because the richest 10% of global citizens are responsible for half of all emissions. While the world is trying to cut down greenhouse gas emissions, meanwhile, the world also has to prepare for more heat, more droughts, more floods, more extreme weather events. Key to the resilience of society is the water revolution, the water cycle. That means managing water at all stages of the water cycle, with top priorities of better irrigation management in agriculture, better water catchment and storage, increased soil moisture and increased vegetation, which holds moisture and water in its green mass. But many more things can be done. And if we look at making society resilient, this is one of the first things that we need to look at, a water revolution. What we certainly also need is a food revolution. Again, there are so many aspects to this that we can only scratch the surface here, and all changes are strongly interlinked with the water cycle and the water revolution. Earlier, we mentioned some of the most important elements people need to look at while changing the agriculture like changing agriculture, changing our diets, rewarding farmers to take care of their lands, reducing meat intake, shift to fish, start growing food in cities, let farmers earn money by drawing down CO2 and adding carbon to soil, creating food forests and applying permaculture design, growing new variety of crops that are more drought and heat resistant, but also salt resistant. And reducing our food waste, because in the whole chain of growing up to eating food, up to 40% of food can be wasted. Each of these subjects could be a separate module, and maybe we will develop those next year. But what we need to realize is that if we want to go to a transition to a sustainable economic future, little of the current food production methods will survive this crucial change. Less meat and dairy is one of the major issues. More fish and fish farming, urban and high-rise farming, more local food markets, carbon negative farming, food forests, all these elements will come to play as part of this food revolution. Lots to think about. Quite often people talk about reforestation as a way to balance nature, but actually we need to understand this as complete landscape restoration, which is a planned process that aims to bring back ecological balance, increase the quality of life of people and animals living in that area, and including opportunities for wild animals and birds to live there as well. Deforested areas and dried out abandoned lands need to be revived. Natural water storage needs to be improved and degraded landscapes improved from a perspective of vegetation, water storage, food production, wildlife and beauty. There was an inventory made recently, and almost 1 billion hectares of degraded land around the world is ready to be revitalized, regenerated. And if so, it would help a lot to balance our climate. And yes, it would include planting 1 trillion trees around the world. Of course, we cannot tackle everything in this one short module, but just to give you an example of this infrared picture on a hot day in a square in Sydney. And you see that the temperature differences between under the trees and near to a metal board is as much as 16 degrees. This alone will give you enough information on how you can deal with heat in cities, which is definitely something that needs to happen. So now we have seen some of the aspects of the complete transformation of the way we do economics and we run our societies. I would like to leave you with, please have a donut. We will use this economic model, which is quite simple, to as an anchor to understand and integrate all the challenges and the solutions. Basically, the green area, the donut, is where we should stay, and it is within the ecological ceiling of our planetary boundaries, which include that we cannot do activities that increase climate change, ocean acidification, and so on. There are 9 factors here. And also that we should give everybody a life and a livelihood that takes care of the minimum necessities, the social foundations. So I would like you just take a look at it at home, because the donut economics is going to be a pillar of the way we want to propose a restructuring of our economic thinking. So summing up, our current situation means that in order to change everything, we will need everyone. Nature does not negotiate. We need to listen to her demands. And the world is as a crossroads. Creating a sustainable human society is no longer a nice to have, it's a must. We either transform the way we are living, or nature will transform us. We can do this if we make the love of all life our first priority. Yes, we are in a hurry. This is a decade where we make the great turn, and you are key to those changes. Thank you for being here. On the last slide, you will see a number of articles which we would like you to read for the next session, including, of course, Module 3, which will be available to you soon. Thank you so much and have a nice evening.
This is all for today. Thank you for your attention. You'll find the links to your homework in the description below this video. I'm looking forward to seeing you again soon, so I'll say goodbye for now.
So should I stop the screen sharing now?
Yes.
Yeah, that's fine. Hello, everybody. That was heavy stuff. I must say I like it a lot more to watch Chetna than watching to my story. But on the other hand, I think it is very nice to look again at water, especially, of course, in Rajasthan, parts of which are deserts. But I remember the lush Aravalli mountains, so beautiful. I've seen tigers and leopards in your forests in Rajasthan. So, but I think one thing that we can simply remember about water is that we don't have a water problem. We have a water management problem. If we understand how important and precious water is and how it keeps us alive, and we treat it with that respect, but make sure that it is a gift from nature, so that we don't sell it, but make it available in sufficient quantities without wasting it. Every place on this earth has enough water for its people, its animals, and its agriculture, if it's done well. Thank you.
Great, Mr. Rao. It was a real good scenario presented against the participants. And I'm sure it is a little bit heavy, but slowly the participant will also understand it. And we need to extend help through their counselors and their faculty. Whatever difficulty you have, or all the participants, whatever questions you have, whatever you have not understood, just feel free to write it and post to your class teacher, or Basant sir, or Abhishek sir, anybody. Okay. And Basant, I would request that you compile the list of the questions. I'm expecting the questions will be there. Okay.
Yes, sir.
We must answer. We must satisfy their queries so that they understand it and get the satisfaction out of this effort. Right?
Yes, sir, absolutely. I will do that from my end, sir. I am making a sheet in which I am putting all the questions so that we can make one questionnaire for all the modules, sir.
Yeah. So, participants, we have seen in this video that we are having the risk of submergence of the coastal area worldwide. And if you talk specifically about India, the video shows Bombay, Chennai, and Pakistan is Lahore. But if you go further and you dig it out yourself, you'll find entire coastal area of India is at danger of submergence. And the prediction is 10 million people will be as a climate refugees. I can guarantee if that happens, more than 10 million will be right from India itself. Because you see, Chennai is most populated in that area zone of your coastal belt. Calcutta is equally populated. Bombay is enormously populated. So most populous cities are at the bank of your seashore. So it's better we get awakened and do things. As far as Sahara was talked, we ourselves have a Sahara at Rajasthan. Rajasthan, many of people have gone to Jaisalmer. I'm sure many of you would have visited. You go there, even in the winter, at 3 o'clock in the daytime, you can't stay there. It's so hot. Okay, and the night it is equally cool. So that's the change there you'll find. And if the rain, see, the climate changes are also affecting rain. If you do not arrest it, the rain will change its pattern. Many of us would have seen earlier in Rajasthan was known for desert state of India, or a place where water was a scarcity. But now, for a pleasant surprise, lately we have seen a flooding in Kota. Kota, Bundi, Jhalawar area was flooded. Okay, so water is there, and as Rob said rightly, water is not less. Water is a plenty. Water is also an energy, and those who have studied energy, energy cannot be destroyed. It can change its form. If you heat the water, it becomes vapor. You can't drink vapor. Can you drink the vapor? Anybody?
No, sir.
No.
No, sir. No, sir.
Yes, very good answer. You can't drink vapor. It has, why? Because it has changed its form. Now again, the rivers were known in India. The Ganges was known. It's a medicinal and very, very pure river. You drink its water and you will be cured of your diseases. Why? Because when it used to come, the water used to come from Himalayas, it used to flow through the deep forest and all, and most of the medicinal plants of the Himalayas, their leaves, their trees, branches, they used to fall in the river and mix with the water, and it used to become very, very pure and medicinal, having medicinal impact on human being. But what have we done? Any answer? Our rivers, are the rivers as clean as it used to be earlier?
No, sir.
No, sir. No, sir.
No. So what has happened to it?
We have polluted it by putting garbage and all in it.
Yes, exactly. If you get a chance, I have compared. I had been to a place called Lakshman Jula near Haridwar in 1974. And I could see big fishes were seen under the water. The water was so clean, and people were feeding the fish by buying the atta and all this thing. That I see. And I went last year, last to last year, and to my horror, you can't see even 2 feet deeper. Fishes are there, but you can't see. That is the state of affair. We have ruined our rivers. If you talk about Yamuna, the second biggest river here in northern India, is 100%, you can say it is only chemical, no water. The chemicals are in the form of water. You might have seen during the flooding of Delhi area and all, lot of foam things you can see. The foam is nothing but pure chemical. So it is our earnest responsibility and duties also as a responsible citizen to make those who pollute it responsible and accountable. Government has framed many of the laws. There is called NGT, National Green Tribunal. The strict laws are there, but still you will find many of the industries, they just pollute the river. So there are momentous tasks we have to do. There are many, many challenges. We have to educate people. We have to train them. We have to counsel them and win over them to be our friend so that we all become nature's friend. If the nature is our friend, tell me what happens. Can a friend harm you?
No.
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 Is a friend, when you see
Oh.
your friend, do you become very happy?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. You feel
Yes.
happy to spend time with that, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. When you go to a park,
Yes, sir.
in summertime, if a big tree is there and you are sweating, you would like to sit underneath and enjoy the breeze. Did you do that anytime?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So nature is
Yes, sir.
his friend, provided we treat the nature as a friend. Okay, that's the message I'm sharing with you for today's lesson. So carry it forward, think on it. Okay, so I think we have done our bit. Anybody else would like to say anything? Free for all. Any queries? Anything? Can raise your hand.
Sir, I think sir is there. Abhishek sir is there. So I would like to ask Abhishek sir if he can share his views.
Yes, sure, sure. You have to unmute, Mr. Abhishek. Mr. Abhishek, you have to unmute.
I think there is some kind of network issues there, sir. I think from sir's end.
Oh.
So then we leave it to the next
Then
time.
you can just send a sentence on the chat box.
Yeah.
And we will read for you.
Mr. Abhishek, have you withdrawn to nature?
I think sir is not able to connect to this session.
Okay.
So
You can take the charge, you can express. You were representing.
Yes, Prashant, you take over.
Sir, I think sir is talking about hydroponics, and from my research, I have no idea about hydroponics. So definitely, if anyone can please help me with that hydroponics.
Excuse me, sir. I want to interrupt in this. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Hydroponics is a way in which we do not use soil for growing the crops. And I have taught this in biology because there are so many biology. Sara is there, Tehseen is there. They must have read about hydroponics, that I told them the nutrients are dissolved in the water and roots take directly those nutrients, and they are grown even in the desert areas also. We can grow plants through hydroponics technique. So people are very much amazed for this hydroponics because it is a very lovely technique. I have done in my previous school this experiment also. One of my student has done the experiment of hydroponics and he has showed in the science exhibition, and it was very much liked by the people. And even I think so there are countries also which are doing hydroponics. Even India is also doing work on hydroponics. Thank you, sir.
Great, Deepya, very good. And I just add on it, what she say is really great. And you might have seen there are big buildings, office buildings in Japan, and also probably in Singapore, where they are growing their kitchen garden things within the campus itself by using this method. Australia is one of the leading country in this. And in India, it's coming up. It's not that popular, but it is very good for small places, even in your balcony. So you can grow things. So this is really good. It just needs water and some kind of minerals to be dissolved in the water. Absolutely true. Thank you. Thank you very much. Mr. Abhishek, you need to tap this knowledge, and maybe
Surely.
a group of students
there you
can
are.
be a group. So a group can be formed, and they can have a project of this sort.
Yes. it's lovely to have a hydroponic project, and it's not very expensive to do it. You just need, I would say, you could do it in the size of a large room. Of course, it's combined with fishes, and the investment is not very high. So, would be a great idea to think about that, Mr. Abhishek.
And I will give you a tip on this, that India is known for its reuse, and reuse. Okay. I just say a small joke. I heard somewhere, a pajama, so pajama is torn, it will be cut and it will be made into a thala. So you can go to market to buy stuffs and pack in it. If again it gets torn, it is used as posha, wiper. Okay, so we don't throw things. So that way, what you can do is think of usable items which are lying idle as waste material in the houses of the students and the faculty. Collect them, repaint them, decorate them, and use it. Yeah, I can tell you, wonderful thing can be seen. You won't be seeing that these are made of out of wastage. So we achieve two things. One is we are using the waste, so reducing the waste. Another is using the good technique to grow the vegetables and so on. That is. So that's all. Thank you. Ingamate. Miss Ingamate. Miss Inga is probably running between two screens.
As usual.
As usual.
Always busy with too many things.
She is
Having probably several projects at the same time.
Yeah, she is handling several projects. Yeah. Okay, leave her. So anything else, anybody?
No, sir.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Who said yes, sir? You want to say something?
No, sir. I said no, sir. No doubt.
No, but I heard you said yes, sir.
No, sir. I said no.
Okay, okay, good. Okay, Mr. Abhishek, I would suggest that the today's video you can circulate to students as well as your faculty to go through
Surely, sir.
leisurely. Okay, and
Definitely.
the questions what they have, they
Yes, sir.
can jot it down and share with your coordinator, and he can send it to me so that we can frame the answer. And I would also encourage that some of the students, some of the faculty may also try to answer those questions. So 70 to 80% of the questions will be replied then there itself. And balance you send it to us. So that way the faculty upgrades their knowledge, the students upgrade their knowledge, and we also get time to respond to you. We are thinking of sharing the videos or study material of future courses in advance to you now. Two of the
Surely,
things
sir.
we had taken our control. Now we want to give the control to school, that you
Right, sir.
give it to your students, let them go through it, so that what we can do is when we come back here, we will not play the entire video. Rather, we will play smaller portions, whichever are important jointly, and then come back on the discussion front. Okay, interactions.
Sure.
So will that be good?
That will be good.
Yeah, that's your modality. You work on that way. So we were trying to come to your system where the
Right, sir.
students are quite familiar with it. Okay, thank you from my side now. Where is Mr. Hans?
I'm here.
Ah.
Yes.
So you are our Bhisma Pitama. How can we allow you to be vanished from the screen?
Well, you should come here and kick my internet provider in the back and not to disrupt me.
Okay.
But I can back after a few minutes after all.
Great, great.
And I'm so happy for what has happened here today. And I'm especially happy for the involvement of the students. One of them even asked me a question I could not answer in the first place. So they are very bright. And they really deserve to get some good answers.
Wonderful.
I know Mr. Abhishek has got talent in grooming the talent. Okay. The students are talented and the faculty is also talented. Okay. So the students are in very, very safe and good hands. And this kind of faculty are very important and play a key role in forming the character, forming the citizens of the country, and giving all kind of all-round knowledge. And I think this school gets the pride in taking World Climate Schools education to the student. They are the first. There are many in queue, but they are the first. So congratulations to Abhishek and team.
And to all of you.
Yes.
Okay. I'm done. Now it's back to Mr. Abhishek.
Thank each one of you to beautiful learning to all of us. We'll take it. This video I'll be sharing. Let them see the video all over again. Let them form their own questions. We jotted down the questions which we got, and then each one of there is any need, we'll come back to you, and we look forward to more interest in the coming week. We prepared advance in the video. If we look into the video, we keep us ready. Let's keep it on our eyes. Bye. Thank you to everyone. Thank you to the team WC. All good teachers. That's good interest.
Sir,
Good
your
questions.
voice is
Thank you.
cracking.
Possibly the internet is not clear.
Please.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Mr. Abhishek, it's very difficult to understand you, so maybe we should shorten it and round it off.
Yeah.
I think there's a problem with your
possibly
internet.
yeah. With internet. Just wanted to thank all of you.
Thank you, everybody. See you next week.
Okay, Basant, you may call it off for the day.
Yes, sir.
And we again assemble on next Friday.
Namaste. Bye-bye.
Namaste.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, sir,
you.
for giving such sessions to our students.
Thank you.
We will definitely meet next week. So I am ending the session from my end.
Yes.
And Basant, I would request that if you can copy the chat, there are very good suggestions from the students. Okay.
It's already
those will be
done.
the inputs.
It's already done. Yes, sir.
And link to the recording, please.
Okay.
Definitely, sir. I will do that, sir.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Bye-bye,
Basant.
everyone. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Bye all. Bye all. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye.
Bye.
Moi moi, ma'am.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So, fine. Thank you, Basant. I'm
Yes,
also.
yes, I am ending. I'm just copying the chat, sir, in
Sure.
Notepad.
I'm also leaving. You copy and you do. Then,
Yes.
Then I may catch you later. Okay.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.